A tenant living at a property behind Hilldale Shopping Center in Madison called our team saying his neighbors are being faced with a massive rent hike. Some are getting asked to pay up to 40% of what they already give their landlord every month.
And our Catherine Merck shows us how these neighbors share an issue with many other renters in Madison in this call for action.
You can step into this.
David Rivera-Core has lived at his 2-bedroom apartment at the Arose Properties called Royal Arms on Madison's west side for almost 3 years.
We thought this was kind of it for us in Madison.
However, the UW-Madison graduate student and his neighbors are facing rent hikes that go beyond their budget for next year.
The new leases being offered have anywhere from like a 20 to 40% total rent increase.
When he first moved in, rent was close to $1,100 a month. After growing increases over his time living at the properties, his base rent is now going up to $1,500 a month. That's not including other fees like heat and water.
It's terrible, and landlords shouldn't be allowed to do that.
As David tries to look for another apartment in Madison, he's not finding a better bang for his buck anywhere else.
Everything's pretty crazy. I think we're probably gonna downsize to a 1-bedroom or look at like Fitchburg, like move away from Madison proper, which obviously will mean more of a commute.
Rent increases, concerns about rent increases, we see this from tenants across Dane County.
Hannah Renfro is the executive director of the Tenant Resource Center in Madison. She says a couple of tenants at the Arose Properties have reached out to them about the hikes. The numbers they're hearing match the stats they're looking at.
The average rent that we pay through our rental assistance program was $1,200 last year and is over $1,500 so far this year. So that is a dramatic increase for a lot of tenants across Dane County.
While it may be easier for a graduate student like David to pack up and leave his current home, Renfro says that's likely not the case for other tenants.
It's devastating for a lot of families.
A lot of the older folks have a very, limited income, fixed income, and don't feel physically or financially capable of moving out. I'm worried for people who have kids who need to transfer schools.
David tells me he's joined his neighbors in trying to talk to his management about coming to an agreement to help families who live there, but they've had no success.
We started kind of protesting to our landlord these giant rent hikes. So we drafted one letter that got 101 signatures, basically saying, hey, we can't afford this, reduce the rent.
He hopes that by their efforts to tell management what's in their own budget, this conversation about rent hikes in Madison can make another call for action beyond just their apartments.
It's outrageous.
I've reached out to management at the Rose Properties over email and by phone over the past 2 weeks, and I still haven't heard back. Under Wisconsin law, there are no rent caps that can be placed on landlords under new lease terms. The Tenant Resource Center can help people experiencing housing issues, like the tenants at the Arose Properties. We have a link to their website and information about our call for action team on channel3000.com. Moving forward with this call for action, I'm Catherine Merck, News 3 Now.